By the way, if he was the mayor of any city, for sure, I'd leave that place. But that's hilarious to think of somebody as dysfunctional as Kanye West having the authority being trusted to provide for others. That is a scary situation. And in fact, we all know he would ruin that city. Well, this is exactly what happened to the city of Dalton when they somehow foolishly elected Tiffany Henyard. And oh, yeah, she's been doing everything her way, the way that doesn't work. Not only has she been criticized for overspending and taking luxury trips to Las Vegas.
You make almost $300,000 between your two elected
I do
positions.
Not. I do not. I don't know where you got that number from.
We got it from her own village and township records.
These are tax dollars.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak to my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas?
Ladies
and gentlemen, we got him.
What is that?
No comment.
She's also been severely over budget in her city.
When at the end of the day, you're making decisions and spending money and then get mad when we don't approve it because it's not financially staffed. I sat here and looked at a lease that y'all spent $149,000 for one of them trucks. You make absolute, that's like when you're 19 years old and you go get a car and the interest rate 27%. That makes absolutely no sense.
But nevertheless, she thrives anyway. That's just what she does. But some other information has come out about her, and that is this. Unfortunately, Tiffany Henyard has been having a lot of problems in the city of Dalton. Not just finance, not just budget, not just giving people attitudes, no. She also makes bad decisions, which we already knew, but this one was a costly one. Back in 2021, Mayor Tiffany Henyard made a hire of a man by the name of Lavelle Redmond as a code enforcement officer, a job in which he goes into homes and businesses to inspect them and make sure they're up to code. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Give him a round of applause, Dima. But wait, stop the show. The problem is, Mr. Lavelle Redmond is a registered SEGS offender. He's on a certain registry because of that. He spent 24 years in prison after pleading guilty, taking part in something very horrible that happened in 1991 that had to do with some younger women. That's all I would say. But people were very upset about this. Just imagine this guy with the mayor, who obviously you would know has this on his record, coming into people's houses. Now, let's hear what some people have to say about that guy.
We pay tax dollars in Dalton. We tax dollars in Dalton.
Frustration growing in South suburban Dalton after a Fox 32 investigation uncovers a registered child offender was recently put on the payroll.
Now some residents are calling for the mayor's resignation.
Dave Placco first broke the story and reports the pressure is building at Village Hall.
About 20 Dalton residents and a couple trustees protest outside Village Hall today, furious after a Fox 32 investigation found this registered child offender on the public payroll.
Offender, you don't give them.
This is how slow everything's working. This is how bad it is. Trying to do anything.
46-year-old Lavelle Redmond is close friends with Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who in September hired Redmond as a code enforcement officer without the village board's approval. Redmond served 25 years in prison for the brutal gang and beating of two young teenage girls in the 1990s, and was arrested and charged after our first story aired for violating the reporting requirements of the offender registry. But Mayor Henyard says her friend deserves a second chance, infuriating a number of Dalton residents.
Dalton's going to go down if these people are, they just need to get out of office as a whole.
You'd like to see that?
Do they need a recall on the mayor?
Fox 32 has also obtained this cell phone video showing Redmond interacting with the mayor and little children at a back-to-school event in Dalton. Notice the badge on his waist.
I think it's deplorable that you've hired a person that has a history that he does, and you've given him a badge and a car to roam our village.
Eventually, he got fired. Hold on, but that's not all. You see, trustees were complaining about another hire. Former Circuit Court Clerk Dorothy Brown, who was also hired by Mayor Henyard and political friends with Brown. But stop the show. Allegedly, the mayor, according to people, and this guy, the one who has the offender thing, yeah, people are saying that him and her are boyfriend and girlfriend. Take it, ooh, sound effect. Wow. And the stories just keep getting worse and worse and worse. And the reality of this is that we can say, well, they're just hating on her because she's a black woman. And if she was white, no one would care about what's going on. You guys are racist and you guys are jealous and you're just haters. I mean, that could be said if you would like us to say that. But the reality is the biggest critics of this woman are not black men. They are black women themselves. You see, because black women are tired of Tiffany Henyard. And this is what I want to talk about, because when Tiffany got hired, I'm pretty sure it was black women that wanted to see a sister like her get it together. But of course, she can't get it together. And a lot of times you see some of these public officials, be it men or women in black leadership, they're supposed to be out there protecting and serving our people. Unfortunately, they protect and serve themselves. Stop the show. Make sure you protect and serve me by subscribing and hitting the bell, so whenever I drop a video, you'll be notified. And it is unfortunate because good leadership can lead to many great opportunities. Bad leadership can just destroy a city like Dalton, which doesn't have that much finance in the first. They have 33,000 views in 5 hours. That's even great for a channel of my size. That is how much this lady is hated, all right, in this city. The title of the video is called Dalton's Mayor Spends Taxpayer Money at Cooper's Hall, which is a restaurant. Now, one of the trustees is going to read off all of the money that she is spending, her staff, out in these streets.
Some of the items that we are talking about: Aurelio's Pizza, $131. Best Western, apparently 2 rooms for $318. Chicago Midway Airport, $200 worth of tax dollars spent on that. Cooper's Hall, $557.68. Got Dollar Tree on here, $108. Dunkin' Donuts, $49.58. What else we got? Where else did we eat at? Holiday Inn in Bloomington, 2, 4, 6, 7 rooms, $2,694. Image One, Italian Fiesta, $113.59. Jewel Osco, $100.50. Olive Garden, $262.78. Pete's Fresh Market, $212.97. Let's see if we ate anywhere else. Thank me later, $520. Walmart, $11.11. Good Lord. Wyndham Hotel and Resorts, 2, 4, 6, 8 rooms, totaled up to $1,085. All this, no receipts given to the myself or the other trustees that I've mentioned. Again, that has nothing to do with denying a residence and service. We need receipts to understand what's going on.
Now, what you're going to hear is the mayor clap back at all of this, right? Let's play that.
Right. So I'm gonna conclude with this. That's not true on your statement you just made. And when people read stuff into record, you guys, go get clarity of what it is. Just for the record, y'all do know that we have prisoners that we feed, right? But I shouldn't have to sit up here and break all this down as though y'all just think it's the administration. It is not. Y'all do know we help homeless people. Y'all do know we help residents, right? But y'all don't ask them questions. Y'all do know we rent hotels for people. We got all these things, but why do I have to always try to justify what it is we're doing here? Why? Because people that don't do nothing, you never see, never active, get up here and just say things out, but never give you no clarity of what department it is. Each item that's on our thing, it has a code. It tells you which department spent the money. It tells you that. Again, I keep telling you, the day-to-day operation, Yes, I'm the overseer of the village, but the management handles their own department, spends their own money, and they put it on a warrant list and give it to the board. But yet people got to do a spin of what they think it is, but don't ask no legitimate questions, because I've asked the same questions on sometimes when I read it, and when I read it, I get clarity, and I say, oh, okay, y'all went and y'all bought the inmates McDonald's or a pizza or whatever they bought. I'm just getting that as an example because I had to learn too. So they should learn before they make judgment or just put things out there and don't have no facts. That's what I mean by not having facts.
Now, in this clapback, you heard what she said. She's feeding the homeless. You know, she's doing these things, feeding inmates, which is interesting because some of those things seem like they were out of town. So I know she's not taking no inmates out of town, right? But you hear all that stuff she's doing. Know. You know, it's clarity on this. My staff is doing this and doing that. But I want you to hear how they clap back, the person who made the video at the
And we will ask the residents, like the mayor said, who are the homeless Dolton residents that the super duper mayor has helped by taking them down to Bloomington, Illinois, and got them a hotel room. Actually, 8 hotel rooms, along with multiple expensive fancy meals. We're also curious to know which inmates she fed at Cooper's Hawk. As far as we know, and we do know as a fact, prisoner meals consist of McDonald's. That's all, nothing more. Not only did the super duper narcissistic mayor lie to the residents by making herself appear as charitable and generous by helping the homeless, but she threw her department heads under a very large, very criminal looking bus. We want to caution her employees to think twice about the loyalty offered to her. She just showed the world she has no shame in blaming you for her wrongdoing. She will use tax dollars to pay her Dolton police security detail on overtime, who drive the very expensive township vehicles to run you over and over again. We're sure it's just a coincidence these downstate expenditures for fancy meals and hotels happened at the exact same time that your own charitable foundation happened to be doing a 5-day walk to Springfield. You make it so easy for the feds to do their job. You steal in plain sight. Mayor, we thank you. Your true colors really did shine bright at the last board meeting. We don't even have to try to make you look bad. You do it all to yourself. TikTok.
You have heard that. Again, how do you explain this? I mean, we're trying to make light of it. But again, who would take a prisoner to Bloomington? That's in Indiana for sure. $2,000 for 8 hotel rooms? That definitely no inmate, because can't no inmate go to no goddamn hotel room. All right? Y'all spending all kind of money, the city's money, doing things you don't got no business doing. But you think somebody is stupid. This is what it is, guys. And the lady is out of control. I'm trying to talk about something else, but you know, we can't talk about something else because this lady she's ridiculous.
All right, you guys go ahead. I'm going to give it a little while. You guys can.
You guys don't know what that is. I need clarity. Y'all know we feed the homeless people in the city. How in the hell is it? You're at Bloomington's, Cooper Hawks. You taking folks to a $500 meal? You feeding prisoners there? Again, like, this is ridiculous. This is already a city that's poor as it is. It's a low-income place. Not the whole village, but on average, you know, like, this ain't where the ballers is living at.
Just to let you guys know what I'm doing here. This whole area here has got me. My eyes are drawn to it. I'm trying to make out what I got in here. Make sure I don't have an arm or a hand. I can't make anything like that out of it yet. It's not really making a cone nose, but I had 2 possible bird beaks, but they don't turn into bird beaks. Just possible bird beaks, let me see. Yeah, it doesn't. If anything, it turns into facial hair going that way. And this never turns into an arm. It never goes arm. Yeah, it's not a beak. Just collecting a whole bunch of other images while I'm look at that fucking thing. I'm just digital collection of electromagnetic nanocarbon from the area we call the clouds. That's what this is. This is a cloud video that I'm remastering. It's on the Michael Oziak channel. And this is a cropping tool. I call it a hydron cropper. Be sarcastic about it. A lot of good imagery in here. All these videos are make your own cropping tool and go look at it. See the true creator. Stop being afraid of it. It's fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing. It's so amazing. So anyways, I have to go back to it because I'm not going to stay here. I'm just going to keep playing this video through. But if I wanted to fuck around, because I'm always looking for something outside the feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. That's what I'm pointing out right now. So right here, I'm looking to see if I see something that is being used as something. And also, I want to see body imagery. If I see anything that might lead me to believe it's body imagery, I point it out. But no, I got a crooked nose in one direction. I got... You know what? Let me take the fucking camera off the here. Look around at it for a minute before I give up on it. I'm playing with my angles and distances of perspective right now, which is much better for showing you the imagery, but I just don't like doing it because it's a waste of my time. Nobody looks. I noticed that one of the videos on the Right to Reality channel had like 700 and something views or something, 3 subscribers, so I don't know what happened with that video. I noticed it was a remaster video. I'm just looking around and I'm going to keep coming back to this area right here because I just want to do this. I'm picking up all these faces and then I'm going to see what it, so he works out the snout of a canine in one direction. Let's see. Okay, now I'm going to come this way. Get all the faces in there, right? When I'm looking around. I'm locked in, my eyes on one certain area because I'm soaking up everything that's in there, all the colors, all the shadows, all the angles and distances of perspective. And I don't get anything out of the norm. The norm being feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast, faces only, triangular builders, that norm. Alright, let's see. Alright, what else does he have on his?
Deputy clerk, you're out of order. And that's your problem. People need to learn to stay in their place. Like I gave you the floor.
She's fucking bad, man.
You want to say. Now
She is horrible.
Stop being disrespectful. Stop lying to the people about what it is you and your office should be doing. You're a clerky. Period.
Dalton, Illinois is a village community.
So it works out to be a big nose for this image here. Eye, mouth down here. He's got this big crookedy nose. I'm trying to bring it out to his outer edges. There he goes.
And it seems to have that small town
there he goes.
Vibe,
you know, you can see his chin, his cheekbones,
forward to living one day.
all that.
Unfortunately, one
If I come out
apple
to here, we
can
can
ruin
get the
others.
next one.
And in this case, it was an
Come
apple
out
that was
to
voted
this
in
cheekbone.
by the village of Dalton, and that apple is called
Over
Tiffany
here.
A. Henyard.
He's right
Now, Tiffany
there.
A. Henyard is what is considered
He also
by
uses
many,
that as
shout
a
out to Pink
nose.
Book Lessons, as
Eye,
the city girl
eye,
mayor. But
nose,
she refers
mouth
to
down here.
herself as the super mayor. And I
Right?
don't know
It's
what's
different
so
than this
super
one.
about her. Super
This one over here is
dusty,
different.
super abusive,
Because it's
super
image within image within
controlling,
image from the veil to the ground.
super rude, super pathetic.
There's
Those
another one
terms
down there.
probably are what she's looking for. When
There
she
you go.
means
There's
super.
another one.
But super amazing,
It's always image
super
within image. There's
intellectual, or
another
super
one.
loving are not nouns
Image
that we
within
can
image
use
within
to
image from the
describe the
veil to
mayor.
the ground.
But then it's getting even worse.
Gonna press
I've covered
play.
many stories about Tiffany Henyard right here on this channel. But as it appears, Tiffany Henyard got upset, and then she fired Eris Montgomery, who was a village clerk. Now, Eris Montgomery is tired of Tiffany Henyard's stuff, and these little outbursts that this city girl mayor has been doing in these town meetings are very abrasive, despite the fact that this particular mayor has abused a lot of the budget, bought Chevy Tahoes, used the town's money to go to Vegas, hiring whoever she wants, hiring registered SEX offenders, doing anything out of her own mindset because she doesn't want to follow any protocol. In this particular instance, she fired a clerk for no reason. What I'd like to do is play some of the clips that got Eris Montgomery fired in this particular town hall meeting.
For all those who watched the October 2nd, 2023 board meeting, you won't be shocked to find out the mayor has fired the deputy clerk, Eris Montgomery. Why? Well, because she stood up for herself to the all-powerful super mayor. It's no secret that Henyard's self-entitlement is very obvious during board meetings. She disrespects anyone she wants, but no one can dare talk to her the way she talks to all those beneath her. And yes, the mayor intentionally has the trustees and clerk actually sit beneath her in board meetings. We can't make this up. We think it's important to applaud the deputy clerk for how she handled herself. After Henyard started the meeting 15 minutes late, she gave the mayor's report first, which was an hour-long defensive rant about how great she is and demanded everyone to respect her for it. Next, we will watch a few clips that led to the deputy clerk's unfortunate dismissal.
Approval of minutes for September 5th, 2023 regular board meeting.
That's not on the agenda.
It says approval of minutes.
It's not on the agenda.
So why is approval of minutes on here?
Normally, just so you know how this goes, Deputy Clerk, it has to say the date and when you guys wanted the minutes. It will have a date back. It's not on the agenda. And if you're paying attention, it's saying Mayor's veto on September 25th, 2023 minutes. So
I said September 5th, not September 25th.
Well, it's not on there. And thank you for clarifying, but it's not on there. So
Hold on. Prior agendas have had approval of minutes without the dates on there.
It's not on there, so please move on.
Yes, great point, Eris. In past meetings, the mayor has even given instruction on how to amend a motion to include meeting minutes that weren't included in the agenda. We love providing proof, so here you go.
For the record, this is what's on the agenda, so you have to follow the agenda. She can amend it, and she can add the other two separately. So I just stated how I would like to do it.
Okay, let's keep watching.
So you stated that you won the FOIA case. That judgment isn't until October the 13th, 2023. So that case is still open, for the record. Also, we don't control the village website. Whatever is posted on the clerk's page, whatever is removed, whatever is added, we have no control over that. Just for the record as well.
Please take classes to learn how to do your job.
I have.
Because, hold on, clerk. Let me finish.
Again, we love backing up statements with facts. Here it is.
The deputy clerk and I are active members of the Municipal Clerks Association of Illinois. We have currently attended all the quarterly seminars. We've also attended regional clerk sessions for Cook County.
Clearly no one is as educated as Tiffany. Then again, with the amount she spends on going to conferences, she must be a genius by now. Anyway, back to the meeting clips.
As it relates to y'all office, and Clerk Key, because you're the deputy, I need you guys to make sure y'all stop sending things out for FOIA that don't make no sense.
Ma'am, we just hate when things don't make no sense.
If y'all don't know what y'all talking about, y'all job is to protect the village. Protect the village. Not assume what you think we don't have. Not assume or give your opinion of anything. And please, Deputy Clerk, come to work because you don't be here. Please come to work. And then you will know what you should be giving out because it's many a times you have dropped the ball on FOIAs that you should have gave to our departments and y'all have not. So therefore, when the FOIA need to go out, people don't even know it exists because you guys haven't given it to the department heads. That's another issue, let alone the issue. But you guys need to get y'all office in order and stay out of the mess because the clerk ain't nothing but a court reporter. That's what y'all do, report what we do at meetings. But yet y'all get in the mess, y'all go have secret squirrel meetings, y'all call meetings, being disrespectful, walk out, leave.
We bet it's hard to do the clerk's job when the village administrator removes documents and takes away their FOIA website access. Clerk Key has talked about this multiple times in previous meetings. Let's listen.
Everything in my office is being funneled into the village administrator's office. He's barely at work, so nothing's getting done. I'm the keeper of the records. Every summon, every piece of letters, anything to come in the village should come through my office first. Unfortunately, it is not, as they don't want my office to know what's going on in Village Hall. We could be getting summons for tons of lawsuits, but I have no idea because they're not coming in my office. So anytime things are taken out of the clerk's office, it should be done by way of an amended ordinance. And that ordinance has to be approved by the board of problems. Submitting a FOIA, we noticed that our link was removed and replaced with a generic email address. So for that to be removed from my link on the website, I need to understand why. Because now it'll be said, hey, the clerk's just not doing FOIAs, period, when the clerk's link has been removed. So can you answer that?
Tiffany chose not to answer the clerk's question. All right, back to the deputy clerk being awesome.
Okay. And so I'm gonna make this very quick because you already wasted enough of the people's time. As it relates again to the final judgment for the FOIA case, it's October the 13th, 2023. And again, as it relates to the website, the minutes are not on there because we do not control the village's website. Whatever is posted, not posted, added, or removed has nothing to do with the clerk's office. Meetings Act states we don't follow what you say, Mayor. What the law states is what we write. Check the law, check the statutes, and comprehend it, and you'll see why we write it the way that we do. It is a summary. We have been here for almost 2 minutes, and we haven't even gone through, 2 hours. We haven't even gone through the agenda. Do you expect us to write that word for word? I think you're looking for a transcriber, and that is not in our duties. We do not transcribe. If you would like a transcriber, perhaps you should address the board and add it to the budget. But myself nor the village clerk will be transcribing minutes word for word, and that is for the record. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna say this and we're gonna move on. Y'all need to be respectful, and that's the problem here. Everybody again want to clap back, and then when I clap back, everybody got attitude. Be respectful, deputy clerk. And your problem, hold on, you out of order. You out of order. Did I not do it before? Deputy clerk, you out of order. Deputy clerk, deputy clerk, you're out of order. And that's your problem. People need to learn to stay in their place. Like I gave you the floor, I was quiet. I let you say whatever you want to say. Now you listen to what I got to say. Stop being disrespectful. Stop lying to the people about what it is you in your office should be doing. You're a clerk key. Period.
Now that you have witnessed the meeting that caused the deputy clerk to be fired, please listen to the termination letter she received.
Dear Ms. Montgomery, on or about October 2nd, 2023, you engaged in grossly insubordinate and belligerent behavior that was directed at Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Members of the public witnessed your inappropriate behavior and comments. Your actions violated various provisions of the Village of Dolton's policies and practices, including, but not limited to, the following: 1. Insubordination, 2. Verbal threats, 3. Policy violations, 4. Failure to follow procedures, 5. Any action which endangers the safety, health, or well-being of an employee or citizen, or which is of sufficient magnitude that the consequences cause or act to cause disruption of work or discredit to the village, and 6, failure to meet performance standards.
So as you can see, that was the arguments, and it looks like Eris Montgomery was following the law. Now let's stop the show. We need to understand here there are 2 particular contents on YouTube about Dolton, Illinois. There is the Village of Dolton, which is ran by the city, and if you go to almost any video, the comments are off. You can't comment. And all these things have pretty much the city of Dolton or Tiffany A. Henyard as the person that is in every thumbnail. Like she's the Messiah, it's all good campaigns about her, it's all good information about her. Everything about Tiffany Henyard, you would think that she's like Jesus Christ. But all you need to do is go to the Dolton trustees, and you will find the real truth from the trustees of Dolton, how they
See
feel
this
about
eye
Tiffany
here
Henyard.
goes with this eye here.
Let's go ahead on and play that.
That
particular
nose
board
there and the
meeting
mouth
clip,
down here.
and then we'll come back.
The last board meeting in October,
And you get the matching
able to
eyes.
make it, and my deputy sat in for me. And I think she did an excellent job. With all of you all from Southwest. And she's a young lady. She's 34 years old, and I'm really mentoring her. This is something I wanted to mentor our mayor on. But unfortunately, she wanted to take a different route. So, hey, my hands are just tied on that. So this young lady spoke up for our office, and what happened? They became and terminated. Well, I'm gonna tell you the story. First, like October the 6th, that Friday, she and I were out at different meetings all day. We left the office at 11 o'clock, and we were gone till like 6 o'clock that evening. But during the course of us going to one of the meetings, Scott from maintenance called us and said, "Clark, what code do you want to put on your office?" I'm like, "What do you mean, what code do I want to put? I have a code." He said, "But I'm changing it because you said someone compromised." I said, "I never told you anyone compromised my code. Leave my code alone." Well, he was instructed by Keith Freeman to change my code. So he changed my code. I come to work the next day. I can't get in my office because the code has been changed. Jason, who accompanied me because things are getting so toxic, and Barbara, I thank you again because you accommodated us. So toxic, we couldn't get in. But let me back up a little bit. That same day, that Friday, Dalton police went to Deputy Clerk's home, her mother's home, and said, "We're doing a well-being check. Eris didn't come to work today." The biggest lie that could ever be told. Her mother is standing there very startled because while we were in the office, her mother called and we were talking to her. But yet, if someone comes to your house, 2 officers, and say, "We're doing a well-being check on your child," what are you going to think? Something has happened. This is how crazy things are. Her mother immediately called us and said, "Are you okay? Are you okay? 2 officers came here looking for you. Are you okay?" She's like, "Mom, I'm okay. I'm here with the clerk. We're fine." So, if that wasn't enough, when we went to office that following Monday, here come these same officers to our office, trying to serve her termination papers. First of all, if you're going to be terminated, I'm her immediate boss, right? I should have been informed.
Who's supposed to hold? Who's supposed to hold? No, I'm going to get that again. Yeah.
Looks like there's clouds on this day.
Come on, Pastor, we got to wrap this up. And we got to go to this. Get your comments done. Anything that comes up, you got to ask her to sign. I need to sign this. No. And we've been instructed not to return to the building at all.
Yeah, there are clouds.
How much are these? No, Eris is appointed by me, and I'm the only person on the board of trustees.
I see some
that
clouds
can
going by him.
terminate her, not the mayor.
So, guys, I just really want to say this, and again, being in this red pill community for a certain period of time, I'm starting to notice some things. And it was a lot of times I was thinking that there was a war between black women and black men, and in some cases there is that. But man, am I discovering, and which is even sadder, there's a lot of animosity between black women and black women, which is something that's not really discussed, but I keep seeing that as more of a trend. That's really more of the issue going on here. And what I'm seeing is a lot of these ladies who are supporting these ladies to help them get to where they're at, those same women are being disrespected. So I'm like, oh shoot, like they voted for this lady. I mean, she's a black woman from the city of Dothan. It's a Democratic city. They vote her in, and look how the lady is talking to not only the young sister, but the lady who was her boss. And I'm sorry, like I know that a lot of these women want to be independent, and I don't need no man. Now I'm to the point where I don't even listen to that kind of stuff no more. It doesn't even bother me because I know it's not really true. People will say anything for some clout. But really the issue is, and I know a lot of brothers will see this, we got to take a look at how these women are responding to each other. We know how they're going to respond to us, which is fine. But let us sit back and just watch how women are responding to each other. And that's the whole situation that I'm starting to focus on right now. Instead of me complaining about how black women have an attitude with black men, no. Let's look at how these sisters have an attitude with one another. And the one thing that a lot of black women gotta understand, that if you really want more respect for black men, I'm gonna be honest, how you talk to each other and how you treat each other, it means a world of difference. The same thing I tell black men. If black men are disrespectful to each other, black women are going to disrespect you. And I'm going to say the same thing to black women. If you as black women are having issues with each other, you don't respect each other, you feel like you're better than the next lady, a lot of black men are going to sit back and see that, and a lot of black men are going to be like, wait, hold on. These are ladies. They should be able to, I know that men are controversial, but look, this shouldn't be happening. Where is the elder or people that say, hey, mayor, let's cut that out. Let's stop this from going on. It went on for 2 hours, and the reason why ain't no man there that even cares about enough to even want to be in the community to say, hey, listen, y'all ladies need to go ahead on the chill. I know you're the mayor, but now we need some leadership. Come on now. Let's be professional. The whole world is looking at us. Nothing. And what I'm seeing is if black men just sit back and just watch, look at how the sisters are looking at one another these days. You're not seeing that camaraderie. You're not seeing that friendship. You're not seeing that sisterhood that they say that, they really have. You don't see it. It's like once one of them get into some, particular piece of power, they forgot who they came from. And a lot of these ladies that are getting into these particular political offices, you forgot the black woman is who put you there. So once you get there, you come in talking about, oh, how much you love sisters and all that. But no, when you get in there, you start flipping up. Oh, you ain't got no respect, firing the sister and all of that. This is what I'm talking about. No respect for the ladies. So you're just saying a lot of black women are being taken advantage of by these other sisters who are coming in talking about female empowerment, all this, and then once they get what they want, hey, and they making themselves look bad too. Same thing happened with Monique Owens. She came in there to East Point and was saying the same thing, and guess what? She ended up doing the folks the same way. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jump. Preach your frog. Recently, we have been seeing some evidence of certain high-powered ladies from the black community getting into some issues in their respective cities. The first is Tiffany Henyard, who's from Dothan, Illinois. Allegedly, she's out there spending all the city's money in Dothan. Then there was Monique Owens, who was the city's mayor. She was replaced in East Point, Michigan. But then there's another story that is trending around the nation. Felicia Franklin. Now, Felicia Franklin was the Clayton County Commissioner. If you guys know, Clayton County is right outside of Atlanta. And of course, it's a pretty good job. It's a damn good job. And she was recently hanging out at a bar in Morrow, Georgia. And she was having some drinks, about 4 or 5 drinks. Then she ended up outside and she was belligerent. I don't want to play the clip, but if you see it, you will see her saying, you better get him out of my face, you better get out of my face, and all of that, right? And then because of this, she was fired, right? But now let me play this video because this is some very interesting stuff, and then we're going to come back.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Linda Stouffer. Police are now questioning a local county commissioner's story after she claimed someone spiked her drink at a bar. New at 6, Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Winnie is live in Morrow. And Mark, police told you they have not found any evidence that anyone targeted the commissioner, Felicia Franklin, with GHB.
We can show you drink by drink by drink by drink on video what happened according to a Morrow police investigator. And we can bring you key parts of Commissioner Franklin's side because we've got video of her interview with that police sergeant.
Get him out my face! You gotta get him out my face! I don't give a Get him out my face!
After reviewing all these hours of video and body cam video, there is no evidence to support the claim of Miss Franklin having something to put in her drink. From the body cam in the video of at 44 Sports Bar and Grill.
This is Clayton County Commissioner Felicia Franklin.
That is correct.
The Clayton County Commissioner, the cameras, and her claims suggesting she may have been drugged. Morrow Police Sergeant Scott Stewart says he reviewed hours of police body cam video and security video from inside the 404 Sports Bar and Grill to determine what caused Clayton County Commissioner Felicia Franklin to pass out outside the club and later behave combatively in a Morrow Fire EMS ambulance after an officer summoned help because she may have hit her head outside 404.
You make almost $300,000 between your 2 elected positions.
I do not. I don't know where you got that number from.
We got it from her own village and township records.
These are tax dollars.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas?
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
What is that?
No comment. No comment. No comment.
On April 28th, 1999...
See, that looks like an angle for a beak right there to me. From this angle and distance of perspective, that looks like an upper and lower beak.
Holding forth at American University.
See if I
His
can
name
hold it.
is Dr. George Ayete, and everybody hates him on the continent of Africa.
I have
He's had
found
his
several
own
birds
office
in the
bombed in Washington,
moon
D.C. He's almost been
that
killed
are
in
like
Ivory Coast.
95%
But that doesn't stop
confirmable to
him
me.
from coming to the city of Oakland this day. And he gives a message that is still heard today all across the African world. And the topic of this lecture is a new path for Africa, establishing free market societies. George Ayete wrote a very controversial book called How Socialism Destroyed Africa. But he's going to focus in this talk on controversial issues that African dictators don't want to talk about, corruption in Africa. And in this small snippet, he's going to lay out his problem that's affecting Africa and the black world until today.
And I'm sure you've interacted with the people. And a lot of you will vouch that African people are very hospitable people, and they're very nice people. The continent, the scenery in Africa is breathtaking. But as an African, I'm also very angry, because we fought for our freedom from white colonial rule. And back in the 1960s, when we fought for our freedom and development, we expected to have more freedom and development. But true freedom and development never came to much of Africa. And as a matter of fact, our cause for freedom was perfidously betrayed. Which was why I wrote my first book, Africa Betrayed by Its Leaders.
Look at that shit, man.
I know what you're gonna say. Oh, Shane,
I'm able to
this
show
is
it
an
to you
African
so
guy.
good now.
He's talking about Africa, not America.
You can all go do this.
Has
You can
nothing
all
to
see
do with
this.
today's subject, but it does. Black America has its own issues of corruption.
Awesome.
You ever heard of Kwame Kilpatrick? You ever heard of the city of Baltimore? Yes, this problem is affecting Black America too. The whole idea of using taxpayers' money to fund autocrats' lifestyle who rule in these particular countries or local governments is what is breaking Black America and Africa down. And nobody does that better than this city girl. Her name is Tiffany Henyard. Now, Tiffany Henyard talks, walks, and acts just like Sexy Red without showing all the money. She's weaving and sailing up. She's exactly what you would expect would happen if Young Miami got into office.
And I just woke up feeling like I'm that bitch. Period.
And she's the mayor of Dalton, Illinois, outside of Chicago. She's a city girl to the fullest. And this is a city which has an income of $24,000 per year. But this particular individual here is living it up off taxpayers' money. It's no different than corrupt leaders in Africa, where their people are living on $1 a day, but yet these particular politicians are living like kings. And now, this city girl, with all the nice weaves and makeup, has come under scrutiny, not only from her fellow blacks on city council, but around the world. The city of Dalton is completely dysfunctional, while this city girl is having the time of her life on taxpayers' money. And I know you don't believe me, but this clip will sum up everything that I'm talking about.
It goes canine, it goes feline,
with big bills and leaders with
every other
expensive jets.
angle.
Last night, we showed you how some
Other
residents and
than
elected
out
officials
here.
claim the local mayor retaliates against people who don't support her.
So tonight we look at a spending spree, which also causes questions and concern. Here again, investigative reporter Ben Bradley.
40 minutes south of Chicago, you'll find Dalton, Illinois. The median income is $24,000 a year. And yet the mayor collects more than 10 times that amount from various elected positions. And as we found, a paycheck isn't the only perk. In South Suburban Dalton, the economic challenges run deep.
We still have areas that need trees cut, streets paved, alleys paved, sidewalks fixed. It's a lot of that going on.
And a lot that's being spent, not on critical repairs, but on travel, meals, and more by many top village officials.
It's an issue. It's been an issue for some time.
We just look up and we're paying for stuff. And it just makes no sense. She's just doing what she wants to do.
None of them do the things that we do here. We the only ones making sure y'all streets get paid, find ways to fix what is broken.
She is Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
And then they running y'all, say y'all this little fictitious story.
Would you like to just do an interview with me?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, let's go. I mean, in addition to leading Dalton, she also serves as supervisor of Thornton Township.
You make almost $300,000 between your two elected
I do
positions.
Not. I do not. I don't know where you got that number from.
We got it from her own village and township records.
These are tax dollars.
So is the money being spent on village credit cards. WGN Investigates obtained copies of statements that reveal village officials have spent more than $24,000 at restaurants in just 1 year, including this Midlothian barbecue joint and a South Holland sub shop.
I've seen the same thing and more. You name it, they've done it.
Other questionable expenses include the streaming service Hulu, flights to Texas, Alabama, and Missouri, and hotel rooms in nearby suburbs, including Madison and Elk Grove Village, plus thousands of dollars spent at a hotel in downstate Pontiac.
My take is this. If they are going to something that's going to benefit the village, that's fine. But from my standpoint of view, these things don't benefit the village at all.
And then there are the trips to Las Vegas. Mayor Henyard and other top officials traveled to Sin City in May to attend a shopping center conference. It's unclear if it helped Dalton land any deals.
Don't have a clue. We're all in the dark. Not only are the residents in the dark, but the trustees are also in the dark as well.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
Of course I do.
Were you?
It's not paid by them.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
Actually, yes. The credit card records do shed some light on tax dollars spent at several restaurants near the Strip, including Cafe Hollywood and Hot and Juicy Crawfish.
All right. Any other questions?
So you're not going to answer how taxpayer dollars are being spent? That seems odd.
I just answered it. What do you mean? I just answered your questions.
You said you wouldn't answer about Las Vegas.
You asked me a question and I responded. So any other questions you may have?
They may have signed up for a conference, but they never bring anything back. So we have no idea why they go to these trips.
Remember, we mentioned Henyard was also supervisor at Thornton Township. WGN Investigates obtained copies of that agency's credit.
So what I'm doing is I'm doing 360s on my telescope for anybody who's new to my channel. Since I had those 760 views, I might have new subscribers. On the Right to Reality channel, I got new subscribers. We're 700 and something subscribers. So if you guys are going back and forth and you're new, I'm doing 360s on my telescope. Then I remaster the videos from in here to show you the true creator's imagery that makes up the moon and explain to you and show you so you can see for yourself that the false creator/creator is responsible for the bio aspects of our system. The true creator is responsible for the electrical aspects of our system. And we are much more electrical creatures than we are bio creatures. We just don't want to admit it.
Credit card statements as well. They show township taxpayers also spent money on the Vegas trip on everything from steak dinners to hotels and $3,741 just on Henyard's round-trip flight.
I shouldn't have to sit up here and break all this down.
When trustees refused to pay a big block of bills this week, the mayor accused them of putting vital city services in jeopardy.
We need receipts to understand what's going on.
We couldn't help but notice the red hat perched in front of Mayor Henyard throughout the meeting. It's from the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company, which, by the way, was apparently a stop on the Vegas trip. $303 billed to Thornton Township taxpayers.
We just feel lost, and we just want the powers that be to step in and say, hey, you know, something's got to give.
If anybody else, I just want to be clear. Anybody else after that, that's it.
We sought specifics from Dalton and Thornton Township about these credit card charges, expenses, and how they benefited taxpayers, but received no clarity. Mayor Henyard invited us to come back to Dalton and the township to showcase upcoming turkey giveaways, senior programs, and plans for an ice rink.
Yeah.
You have the small crock pot?
I don't think so. Yeah, maybe it's over there. Go grab it. It's probably dirty though.
She can wash it. Plugged in?
No, I don't think so.
Cool. I think they're doing some Thanksgiving stuff at work.
Oh, she's working?
Yeah.
Trying to find more on this, because the stories that I'm interested that this guy was doing, I mean, he's got a lot of stuff, but it's all shit that I'm not interested in. I was just interested in this part of it. It kind of reminded me of the auditors and stuff, kind of shit they're doing, calling out the politicians, calling everyone out. So I wrote some other names down here too that I wanted to check out. But as I'm going through and doing the series for the auditors, it's frustrating because they're all nice guys. They seem like nice guys, but I mean, it's not getting us anywhere. I mean, you got Hochul just came out and did her thing. She's the first state in the United States to do this. It's huge that they're going to start their camps now. I can't even say the words because YouTube will shut my videos down. But she's starting their camps. Anybody that doesn't go and get the Lion Mama Kona 19, then they're going to force them to go into these camps. If you don't go get the you know what for the you know what. I mean, this is fucking crazy, but yet all these auditors are out there worrying about constitutional rights, fucking, right? And there's a lot of them that are in New York. They're in New York and they're doing this. I'm gonna try to write some of these in while I'm doing this. Let's see. There's this other one called. This guy was pretty good too. Black conservative preparedness. No, perspective. I think. All right, digital collection of electromagnetic nanocarbon from the area we call the moon. I'm gonna press play while I'm looking some shit up. I'm just gonna keep pausing and playing, watching the moon go through the camera, digitally collecting the EMNC, trying to get your eyes to lock onto all the imagery that makes up the moon. Zillions of them, and you will remember all of them. Don't worry. Sometimes my camera is off a little bit. No big deal. It's not a big deal. Don't panic. Let's see. O'Shea Duke Jackson. I haven't tried him yet, right? Oh yeah, that's this guy here. This guy here is O'Shea. So let's try this one. Is this pink? Pink bag. I need my fucking glasses. I might put a filter on the camera. I'm not sure yet. Looks really good though. I'm just going to keep pausing and playing. My recommendation to anybody that is coming to my channel new, what you do is take your phone right out of your tripod and you use it as a viewing device and go look around at the moon. I'll tell you about angles and distances of perspective. I'll talk to you about lights and shadows and all that good shit. There is no up, down, left, right, backward, forward, in or out in the true creator's work. That's why I do 360s on my telescope to help prove that to you. So you can go prove it for yourselves. Let's see. This one, Pink Book Lessons. Let's try her. Oh my god, all my computers are fucking not doing nothing. They're all stuck. What the fuck? Okay. Book lessons. Alright, here she's got a bunch of stuff on the same story. Let's just go down the list, I guess. She might have commercials though.
Reason that you guys should not pay for a hotel with taxpayer dollars. I feel you should use your own dollars because you get a salary, you get a stipend, and all that money entails to pay for a hotel.
That clip right there was before Mayor Tahoe was the mayor. As a trustee, she argued that officials should pay for their own hotels and personal travel when they took non-work related trips, which I agree with. But since she's been mayor and the supervisor, this hypocrite has been living lavishly and traveling all over the place off the taxpayers' money. On this episode, we'll discuss how Teflon Tiff used the taxpayers' money to pay for her trip to Alabama, where she went to get clout and attention in Selma. This woman lied and said that she was going to a conference to handle business for the village, but she really went to a walk at the bridge for PR and TikTok. Take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. Shout out to everybody watching from Cook County. If you're watching from the area, drop Cook County below in the comments. So we've been talking about the Super City Girl Mayor. She's got two positions. She's not just the mayor of Dalton, Illinois, but she's also the Thornton Township Supervisor. This sneaky, swindling city girl who's always being caught in lies and caught co-mingling money between both Thornton Township and the village of Dalton on numerous occasions. If she can't get Dalton to pay for something, she'll make Thornton foot the bill. So there was a Dalton board meeting. In that meeting, during discussions of the warrant list, Trustee Belcher saw some discrepancies and had questions, and at some point, she also ended up asking the super city girl mayor about the $22,000 that she spent on a trip to Selma, Alabama. And let's just say the mayor did not want to be
No, it's good.
All right. May I be recognized? Go ahead. I have a couple of questions, and maybe Janice or Tanjani can answer it. I know that we have an electronic warrant list, but then on this AP list, there are some items on here that have already been paid with the credit card. So I'm trying to understand why they're on the AP warrant list versus the electronic warrant list. You want to know why they're on the AP warrant list instead of the electronic warrant list, and they were paid with the credit card. Okay, Janice.
What is wrong with it?
I didn't say there was anything wrong with it. I thought it was good.
Okay, image one for $4,720.
I'll eat it all.
The balance.
If you don't want to take it or something, is that? I mean, it's good. I mean, if you wanted to take something that's definitely passable at work, it's thick and creamy and tastes good.
Then it's.
I thought I tasted garlic, and I just said there was no garlic. So I said, I don't know, there's something like that in it.
Alabama that was paid with the credit card, and it's on this warrant list. Then it's Jim
Yeah,
and
it's good.
Barbecue, which was a township event in Alabama, and it was paid with a credit card. Then it was Madison Street Family Restaurant that has no receipt attached to it. And then there was Pete's that was paid with a credit card. I'm just asking because I want to know why it's not on the electronic warrant list versus the AP warrant.
Okay, before you answer that, Janice, stop lying, trustee.
What am I lying
keep
about, man?
saying it's a township event. It's not a township event. For the record, anybody that want to go to any conference can go. So stop trying to act like we having our own events because we do not. Anybody can sign up for a conference and go to it and get educated.
You're using the excuse to go to these conferences just to be able to go fly around the country and then acting like you're doing business on behalf of Dalton. And this is a constant thing with this mayor. She'll say state the facts or tell people they're lying when she's the one sitting up there lying all the time. And then when she can't lie anymore, she'll tell you it's none of your business or act like she already answered your question when she didn't. She's really just refusing to address the situation. She did the same thing with the news reporter.
All right, any other questions?
So you're not going to answer how taxpayer dollars are being spent? That seems odd.
I just answered it. What do you mean? I just answered your questions.
You said you wouldn't answer about Las Vegas.
You asked me a question and I responded. So any other questions you may have? So stop doing it. Don't lie to the residents like that.
Mayor, when you went to Alabama, was it a town? Did you go as a township supervisor or as the mayor, Dalton?
Why you worry about how I went?
I'm just asking the question. It's discussion. I just asked the question.
It's discussion, but I don't have to tell you how I went. If it's not on the list,
if I don't know,
it's not on the list, right? Because you could have asked me that.
Yes, this woman charged money on the village's credit cards for this trip. And now she's sitting up here in a board meeting saying that she didn't have to tell anybody who she represented while going on that trip on Dalton Dollars. This has been another problem with her. She cannot stand checks and balances. You can't just go around doing whatever you want to do.
Whatever, I do what I want.
Not only do you have the board of trustees to answer to, but you have to answer to the citizens. You're a public servant. You work for the people.
Why you worry about how I went?
I'm just asking the question. It's discussion. I just asked the question.
It's discussion, but I don't have to tell you how I went. If it's, not, on, if it's not on the list,
if I don't know,
it's not on the list, right? Because you could have asked me that before, right? If you really
it's discussion now.
Okay,
so here we go.
I don't go.
Janice, can you answer the question?
I don't go anywhere.
I can't keep telling you what to say
from here because remember, y'all ain't got the money, right? Make up your mind. Y'all got the money. Y'all do.
And then her argument is so dumb. She's basically saying, y'all say y'all didn't have the money, so why are you asking me about it? Trying to say if they can't pay for it, they have no business asking her. But they did pay for it. She used the village's credit cards to make the trip.
So stop saying township.
Okay, I'm asking
that's
a
why I'm
question.
correcting you, trustee. That's why I'm correcting you because you got it wrong. That's
Okay,
not
so
true.
did you go as the mayor or did you go as the township
Again,
supervisor?
this ain't no Q&A for Tiffany Henry.
It's discussion.
And I just told you. I just answered.
Okay, well, nevertheless,
So I said you got it wrong. Do not put the township involved and don't.
Why?
The city girl mayor is saying don't involve Dalton with Thornton when she's been the one co-mingling the two.
Mayor, when you went to Alabama, was it a town? Did you go as the township supervisor or as the mayor, Dalton?
Why you worry about how I went?
I'm just asking the question. It's discussion. I just asked the
It's
question.
discussion, but I don't have to tell you how I went.
And you're misappropriating funds for both of them. The question was, when you went to Alabama, who did you conduct business on behalf of? Who did you represent? She said she didn't have to answer that. Well, it's a valid question because you charged Dalton's credit cards to the tune of $22,000 for that trip. And if you saw the video on Vegas, I already explained how she used funds from both Dalton and Thornton accounts, but didn't conduct business on behalf of anybody. Now, as far as Alabama, well, we'll let the mayor tell you in her own words who she was representing in Selma.
The super mayor Tiffany Henry, the people's mayor / supervisor for a township. We are here in Selma, Alabama, and we are taking care of the business of the people. We just walked over the bridge, and we are taking care of the people.
One, she's not at a conference, and two, how was walking over a bridge in Alabama taking care of the people of Dalton, Illinois?
Use your common sense.
She went on that trip with 6 other employees of Dalton and Thornton. Keep in mind, most of her team, she's got them on both payrolls. This is why she's got this fence around her. Everybody's eating while she's stealing from the people. That's why I said the Fed should be looking at her. In addition to all of the people around her that's protecting her, they are also the problem. But yeah, this was not a conference. They went walking across the bridge.
Tiffany Henry. I am the mayor of the village of Dalton, and I'm also the supervisor of Owen Township, which is the largest in the state of Illinois.
How many times have you come to the bridge? That's my first question.
This is my first year. I'm excited. I'm all about the movement and the progress of the development areas such as Alabama.
Okay.
She's all about the movement and development of Selma, Alabama, while destroying her own town. And why is she making Dalton pay for this? This was a personal trip for personal publicity. Sitting up here being interviewed with people around her, but she's running away from the local news in Cook County.
Mayor, mind if I ask you a couple questions about your security detail?
Absolutely not.
I'm asking her.
Yeah, she said no.
You're worrying about development in Alabama? I still don't understand how she could be worried about development in Alabama while spending up all the money in Dalton, $5 million in debt. Scheming, scamming, misappropriation, making people pay $500 illegal parking tickets, $500 fines, making people pull permits to replace carpet in their homes. Like, stop it. She went to Alabama for the marketing of herself. She was taking care of the business of self-promotion. And again, I'm not saying that she can't go to Selma. I'm saying you pay for the personal trip out of your own salary.
Press and
She's
play.
getting almost $300,000 per year from both
Computer's
positions
jammed up
combined.
again.
She
There
can
it goes.
afford to fund her own personal non-work related trips. Remember, before you became mayor, you would have agreed with that.
Put it in writing of why I felt the reason that you guys should not pay for a hotel with taxpayer dollars. I felt you should use your own dollars because you get a salary, you get a stipend.
This woman's behavior and spending is negligent and outright criminal. The village is already $5 million in debt, and she continues to field trips, weekly events, crab leg and pork chop dinners. She said anywhere she goes, she brings a bag back.
And anywhere I go, guess what? I bring a bag back.
No, ma'am. Everywhere you go, you bring bills back. Big bills. This trip alone over $22,000. Look at the credit card statements. You're supposed to be transparent about this. And she's telling Trustee Belcher that she can't ask about her spending the taxpayers' money? I'm sorry, public money being spent can be examined by everyone in the public. So this attitude, like I don't have to tell you anything, is just crazy. Shout out to the Board of Trustees, the ones doing the right thing. For everyone asking what you can do about this woman, because you obviously see her behavior is out of order. She's up here using the taxpayers' money like they're her sugar daddy. You can't let this happen. Very soon here, I'm going to let you know who's allowing her to get away with this and how you can contact them. So make sure you have all your notifications on because you definitely don't want to miss that video. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Before she became mayor, Tiffany Tahoe said public officials should pay for their own hotels and personal trips. But now that she's mayor, she spent 6 figures on personal trips and hotels. The numbers are ridiculous. Let me know what you think about that. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share. We're back with an update on the Super City Girl Mayor.
Super Mayor!
I told you before that she's been targeting anybody who didn't support her, including citizens, business owners, employees, colleagues, other elected officials. Well, WGN Chicago sat down with 2 people. One of them filed a lawsuit. We're going to get into that, but first, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and don't forget to turn on all of your notifications so you never miss any of my updates here. Won't waste any time. Let's go ahead and get into it.
WGN investigates a town in turmoil. South Suburban mayor accused of using police to target her political opponents.
Investigative reporter Ben Bradley has the story.
For decades, the Shaw brothers ran politics in and around South Suburban Dalton. Their antics were legendary, but now there's a new leader in town. She calls herself the People's Super Mayor, but that's not how some of the people would characterize her leadership.
Yeah, the People's Super Mayor is the name she gave herself, but I gave her the name of the Super City Girl Mayor, so that's her name, a.k.a. Teflon Tiff, a.k.a. Teflon Tahoe Tiff. Tiffany Tahoe, whatever you want to call her. But ma'am, you are not the Super Mayor. More like super out of order.
Super Mayor! Fake news.
The night of June 10th, police arrived at this truck yard in Dalton, owned by Lawrence Gardner.
How are you? I don't know. I was doing good till you got here.
The reason police responded depends on who you ask. In this report, officers said it was for an ordinance violation for hosting a group of bikers at his business without a license. But Gardner has a different take.
Okay. That's what it is. Well, so here we go.
He says he's been repeatedly harassed for not supporting Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
We taking care of all the business, right? All the business.
You can't stop me from closing my gate.
Last time I was saying, sir.
Okay.
Please stop.
I'm not.
Okay.
The standoff that night ended with Gardner in handcuffs.
I'm tired of them. They've been harassing me for months and months and months.
Have a seat, please, sir.
And charged with misdemeanor obstructing an officer.
I'm remembering
With the gate. It's all on body cam. No big deal.
The charge eventually dropped. Case closed, right? Not quite. Gardner claims the harassment continues.
And all of this is because he is not in support of the mayor. Mr. Lawrence Gardner, he spoke out against Tiffany Tahoe, and because of that, he's repeatedly being targeted, and he's not the only one. When you do not agree with this city girl mayor, this is what happens to you.
I'm suffering. They destroyed my trucking company. They shut my store down.
And he's not alone. Others in town are sharing similar stories of alleged retaliation for not supporting this suburban mayor.
It's a regular occurrence. She uses the police force to intimidate residents.
The Dalton Park District's director said in her case, the mayor objected to a car show on park property and shut down the event.
It felt like an abuse of power. She used her entire police force to come in and prevent something from happening because things didn't go her way, really.
And Stephanie here is talking about that car show. I spoke on that in my case study here, where I gave you 10 reasons why this super city girl mayor was out of order. And one of them focused on that car show. Again, the guys over this car show, they have been putting on this event in the same area for 8 years. They paid their money, got the proper permits to do the event, but Tiffany Tahoe was jealous because she wanted to put on her own event at the same time, and she did not want people going to their event, so she sabotaged their event to ensure that she was the only one that would have an event that day.
Lawz
Bosley got an unexpected call last Wednesday from Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard's top assistant,
saying that the show would be shut down, but if I move my event to her location on Greenwood, that I will be fine.
Did you take that as a threat?
Yes, I took that as bullying.
Sure enough, when Bosley showed up at the park Saturday morning, he found that giant concrete barricades had been placed at the entrance, and Dalton police were threatening to tow any cars that parked there.
We talking about two different governments. It's talking about the park government versus the village government.
Dalton Park District President Cleo Jones says Mayor Henyard has no legal authority over Park District property and believes she didn't want the competition to hurt attendance at her own event, a house music festival a few blocks away.
So I'm not sure what her tactics were other than trying to bully us and push us away, but that's not going to happen here.
It was totally out of order. If you missed that video, check out the link below.
Even village employees are now suing Dalton.
I filed the lawsuit because I am a victim of retaliation.
Eris Montgomery is Dalton's deputy village clerk. In her complaint, filed last May in federal court, she claims the board increased her pay to $60,000, but the mayor ordered not to implement the raise because the clerk didn't support Henyard politically.
People are walking on eggshells, so to speak. They're afraid to have an opinion about anything or to fulfill their duties.
And for all the feminists and misandrists in the sisterhood that's still trying to take up for their sister girl, the super city girl mayor, how was that even possible when you have all these black women that she's been harassing? Now we have to add Miss Montgomery to the list, the deputy clerk. It's just crazy how some of you don't want to criticize her because she's a black woman, but she's going around destroying black men and black women. Again, this community is like 91, 92% black. So if you're really for black people, you would not be supporting her.
Since taking office in 2021, Henyard has repeatedly clashed with residents and fellow elected officials, even locking trustees out of Village Hall amid a dispute.
This is the second time she did this.
That was 2021. 2 years later, dysfunction is still the definition of a Dalton Village board meeting.
You the ones that's costing the village money. I don't have that call.
It took 30 minutes of yelling just to agree on the order of the night's agenda. Some residents say they are fed up.
Until this administration starts respecting us as citizens, I'll be damned if I'm going to respect them as an administration.
3.5 hours later, we had a quick chance to chat with the mayor.
At what point is this dysfunction a reflection on your leadership?
When I replace my board.
Yes, she just said that none of this is her fault. She's blaming it all on the board of trustees, and she says she won't take responsibility until the board is replaced. So she's trying to get rid of the board so that she will have a board of trustees that will allow her to do whatever she wants to do.
Whatever, I do what I want.
And for those of you that's been keeping up, you already see how she's been running the village. Basically running up a check and running around like she's Griselda Blanco. Can you imagine how it would be if she had no checks and balances at all?
Are you punishing your political opponents?
No, not at all. I'm a fear God person, God-fearing person, that I don't touch stuff like that at all. I'm a fear God person, God-fearing person, that I don't touch stuff like that. I want people to know that I'm caring. I love what I do. I stay in the fire for them, and I bring products and produce things here in our community for them.
Her team said the mayor would not discuss any lawsuits or specific allegations of political targeting.
From my perspective, they're sort of kicking these cans down the road and not doing much to defend them.
Well, there you are. Attorney Patrick Walsh represents Dalton's deputy clerk and another village employee, both of whom are suing the suburb, alleging they were victims of political retaliation.
We've had cases in other municipalities. It certainly happens, but not on this scale. They don't even take steps to try to hide it.
Gardner says he's also considering a lawsuit alleging the village illegally shut down his candy store.
I lost it all.
And his trucking business.
There's no freight. I just have a couple of friends that don't have anywhere to put their belongings, so I put the stuff in here to collect a couple of dollars to pay the rent.
Back in June, after Dalton had shut him down, Gardner's security cameras captured two people he insists were Mayor Henyard's henchmen.
Here it is. is the lock they cut.
The night of his arrest, Gardner asked if cops were the ones who cut his lock.
You know you shouldn't have cut that lock off the way my property.
Oh, yeah, and all those guys, they have her back. Why? Because she's been allowing them to commit payroll fraud. I don't care what anybody says. Nobody can work 303 hours in 2 weeks. And if you missed that story, the link is below. She's been using these guys to taunt all of these people, talking about she's doing work for the community. She's not doing anything but helping herself and stealing from the community.
You know you shouldn't have cut that lock off the way my property. So you shouldn't have done that.
Again, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna let it go. Nobody cut a lock off your property. Okay. All right.
But Gardner's not giving up or giving in.
And then when I call to try to find out, it's always, you have to talk to the mayor. You got to talk to the mayor. Well, the mayor never answered the phone. Nobody else can say anything.
Our story isn't over. One of the many things trustees and the mayor can't agree on is how tax dollars are being spent. Digging through the records, we found trips to Las Vegas, thousands spent on meals and more.
If you're late, don't worry, let me catch you up. Links to all the videos are below in the description. As I said in the first video, it's a lot more here. This town is nearly 92% black, and this is what a black mayor is doing to the black community. Shout out to the Dalton Board of Trustees for speaking out. Trustee Brown was featured in the last video. If you missed that video about how the mayor lied about not using the village's money for a trip to Vegas, watch that video next. The link is in the description. Let's
Okay, so that's a fresh story then. This is all new. Okay, here's this one.
All right.
$149,146.20. Tell me if it's not facts, because your signature's all on.
For the people still trying to defend this super city girl mayor, I told you before, it's so much more going on here. You haven't heard the half of it. The super city girl mayor was confronted about one of her lavish expenses, and of course, this wasn't the first time. But this time, a trustee called her out at a meeting for her running up over $149,000 on a Tahoe. Yes, the Thornton supervisor and the mayor of Dalton, which is a whole other problem. But right now, you're looking at the meeting in Dalton. She ran up a check, and when she got called out on it, she tried to lie about it, but this one trustee did not come to play. She had the receipts on deck because she knew the super city girl mayor was about to try to lie her way out of it. We're going to dive in, but first, take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. Shout out to everybody watching from Dalton to Riverdale, South Holland, and the surrounding areas.
At the end of the day, nobody comes here to argue with you. Nobody at all. There are bills that we have the right to take off. We have the right to make decisions about. You say that you're running it at the end of the day, because this is going to be the narrative. When we go broke, you're going to say, I wasn't even on the bank account. The trustees did it. When at the end of the day, you're making decisions and spending money and then get mad when we don't approve it.
Yes, that's exactly what she's doing, and this isn't the first time. She's been doing this over and over. Like the time she opened up her own personal nonprofit organization and had the town donate $10,000. Then when she was questioned about it, she denied being over the organization and said that she was only the face of it. An organization where she was claiming to help women with breast cancer. But so far, she's only been helping herself. But yeah, that's a whole nother story for a different day. This woman is always saying that she's in charge. She calls herself the super mayor. Super mayor! And she's always taking credit for anything positive, even stuff she had no hand in. But like Trustee Belcher said, when it's time to take accountability for something bad, like a deficit, she's quick to blame it on the trustees instead. And then her narrative is that everybody's always picking on her or arguing with her, whenever they're simply holding her accountable for all these expenses and these poor decisions. Or she'll throw a temper tantrum like a 2-year-old when she can't get her way. And that's another reason why it's hard to take people like her seriously in positions like this. Instead of acting her age, she's acting like a middle school bully.
There are bills that we have the right to take off. We have the right to make decisions about. You say that you're running it at the end of the day, because this is going to be the narrative when we go broke. You're going to say, I wasn't even on the bank account. The trustees did it. When at the end of the day, you're making decisions and spending money and then get mad when we don't approve it because it's not financially staffed. I sat here and looked at a lease that y'all spent $149,000 for one of them trucks. You make that's like when you're 19 years old and you go get a car and the interest rate 27%. That makes absolutely no sense.
$149,000 on a Tahoe? I knew this woman wasn't too bright. But come on, they could have acquired an Escalade for cheaper than that. Obviously, this woman isn't good at making decisions, which is why the Board of Trustees should be there. They need checks and balances. And of course, she didn't care about the price. Her plan was to pass the bill to the taxpayers.
That makes absolutely no sense. You're
Please
not making great finance. Excuse me?
Please stay.
But let me tell you, here it is, dated December 27th. Oh.
The trustee knew she was going to try to lie and try to pull a fast one. So boom, just like that, here's the paperwork. Did y'all hear her? When the trustee mentioned that $149,000, the super city girl mayor was like, state the facts. That's another thing. She's always acting like everybody's trying to lie on her. Well, ma'am, the fact is, here's the paperwork. Nobody's lying on you.
2022, the cash price of a 2023 Chevy Tahoe, $93,216.71. Interest and APR, $55,929.49. Total lease price, $149,146.20. Tell me if it's not facts, because your signature is all on it.
Even when she pulled out the paperwork, she tried to deny it like she didn't know what she was talking about. Well, Super City Girl Mayor, here's your signature. It's right there.
I don't see that.
Okay, but you want to put that?
I don't.
I know she didn't just say she didn't see it. Like, ma'am, even if you couldn't see it from there, you know you signed over $149,000 for this Tahoe. That's why the trustee was like, you want me to put it on the Jumbotron? And she's like, nah, I'll go look at the statement myself. Yeah, go look at it. You already know what's on there.
All right.
I'll
but
do
at
my
the
statement
end of the day, it's not about going back and forth with you. It's about making financial decisions that is in the benefit of everybody and just not one person. And you can't seem to understand that. Have a great day.
Again, shout out to Trustee Dozier. She's absolutely right about the mayor. It's all about her when it's supposed to be about the citizens. She's out there lying to those people in Dalton like she's helping them, when really she's just helping herself to the taxpayers' money. I mean, running up a check. And she's so low, even trying to use women with cancer to pick up a check. Up here acting like she's doing the taxpayers a favor, sending bills to the trustees, and then getting mad when they ask questions or they have a problem with the expenses. You have tension because she's upset that she can't get her way. So yeah, the Tahoe in question is one of the trucks that she's got the security guys driving her around in all day. She's making Dalton taxpayers pay for the truck while half the day she's in Dalton. And then she's using the same security team paid by Dalton to drive her to her other job as a Thornton supervisor. And she's also cutting up over there too. Had not only the assessor, another black woman, locked out her own office, but she got so mad when the news came out to report it that she cut off all of their access keys. Had the whole assessor's office outside in the parking lot. And even in Dalton, she's done that more than once to the citizens and trustees at City Hall. Locked them slap out the building. Trustee Norwood had to videotape herself putting up a notice for the citizens because she was the city girl mayor and her self-enforcers will come around and snatch a notice off the door. Straight up sabotage. And she's got all those guys around her protecting her like she's the president. I know governors that don't walk around with as much security as this woman, and this is a mayor of a small town, 20,000 people. It's just crazy. This woman clearly lost her mind. She got the power of the village, and now she's acting like she's the president. Up here yelling at the media talking about fake news. Fake news. And to the simp enforcers around this woman, I know the former chief of staff called out Keith Freeman.
That this mayor is the most vindictive, manipulative, self-righteous individual I have ever met in my life. Her administrator, let me be real clear, Keith D. Freeman is even worse.
And her extravagant security team, they're not protecting her from a threat. She's blowing the budget for the sake of her ego. And what those guys are really doing is obstructing justice. But the security team, they're only protecting her because, one, that's their job. They're getting paid to do that. But they're going super hard because she's allegedly allowing them to get away with payroll fraud. She's in on it with them. That one man up there submitted 303 hours. How in the world can anybody work 303 hours in 2 weeks? I cover cases all the time. You can go to jail for that. Y'all better stop playing around there. Then being hostile to the media, that's not helping you. All you're doing is giving them more incentive to keep digging. Obviously, it's more there. And to her so-called simp cousin coming in the comments trying to defend the nonsense, talking about somebody was jealous of her success. Dontavius Monterio, stop playing. You can't discredit facts. And like I said before, it's way more here. Y'all haven't seen the half of it. You would think she would straighten up while she's ahead. She's erasing people's emails, harassing her employees. You think you're Teflon Tiff or something? Like, cut it out. This woman is wrong for what she's doing. And they had all these black women supporting her in the name of the sisterhood and being empowered. But when she took office, look at how she's really treating the black women that's around her. And nobody's taking up for them. You can clearly see that everybody's trying to protect Teflon Tiff. If you missed my previous videos, I'll leave the links below. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started and let me know what you think about this. Special thanks to Selden GA Dogs. I appreciate you for all of your support.
WGN investigates a small south suburb with big bills and leaders with expensive taste. Last night, we showed you how some residents and elected officials claim the local mayor retaliates against people who don't support her.
Well, tonight we look at a spending spree that's also causing questions and concern.
Super Mayor! Fake news.
Another day, another episode of The Bold and Beautiful featuring the super city girl mayor of Dalton and Thornton supervisor Tiffany Henyard, aka Teflon Tiff. She's out here lying about spending thousands of dollars on shrimp, crawfish, and crab legs, first class flights, super ritzy hotels. She straight up lied and said that people didn't pay for it. But once again, just like with that Chevy Tahoe, you literally have to pull out receipts on this city girl mayor.
Total lease price $149,146.20. Tell me if it's not facts, because your signature is all on it.
A lot coming up here, but first, take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates.
Again, investigative reporter Ben Bradley.
40 minutes south of Chicago, you'll find Dalton, Illinois. The median income is $24,000 a year. And yet the mayor collects more than 10 times that amount from various elected positions. And as we found, a paycheck isn't the only perk. In South Suburban Dalton, the economic challenges run deep.
We still have areas that need trees cut, streets paved, alleys paved, sidewalks fixed. It's a lot of that going on.
And a lot that's being spent, not on critical repairs, but on travel, meals, and more by many top village officials.
It's an issue. It's been an issue for some time.
We just look up and we're paying for stuff. And it just makes no sense. She's just doing what she wants to do.
None of them do the things that we do here. We the only ones making sure y'all streets get paid, find ways to fix what is broken.
She is Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
And then they run in y'all, tell y'all this little fictitious story.
Would you like to just do an interview with me?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, let's go. I mean, yeah.
Exactly, let's go. Shout out to the WGN reporter. He was at the meeting in the village of Dalton, and she's looking at him because he's media, he's in the building, and had the nerve to say something about people making up fictitious stories. So he's like, come talk to me then and tell your side, since everybody's lying on you. Here's the thing, nobody is lying on her. You have fresh lawsuits out right now. At least 2 of the women working for her that she's been harassing came out. And they're not the only ones accusing her of targeting people who don't agree with her. Not just other elected officials and employees, but even business owners in the area. She's been sabotaging local black businesses and their owners if they speak against her, using the police, her security detail, to do it. And that's why when the feds swoop down on her head, I hope they get her simple forces too. She's doing all of this and have the nerve to say people are lying on her.
And then they running y'all, tell y'all this little fictitious story.
Would you like to just do an interview with me?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, let's go. I mean,
In addition to leading Dalton, she also serves as supervisor of Thornton Township.
You make almost $300,000 between your 2 elected
I do
positions.
not. I do not. I don't know where you got that number from.
We got it from her own village and township records.
Wow, would you look at that? That's her W-2s from 2022. From Thornton and Dalton combined, it's over $287,000. That's $37,000 more than the $250,000 estimate I previously reported. These right here are the actual numbers directly from her W-2 statements. $287,212 in 2022. And this flamingo just sat up there and looked at the reporter with a straight face and lied. Just like she tried to lie about that $149,000 Chevy Tahoe.
That makes absolutely no sense. You're
Please
not
stay
making
fast.
great finance. Excuse me?
Please stay.
But let me tell you, here it is, dated December 27th. Oh,
You make almost $300,000 between your 2 elected
I do
positions.
not. I do not. I don't know where you got that number from.
The citizens of Dalton and Thornton, please don't be fooled by this woman. She is a liar.
I don't know where you got that number from.
These are tax dollars.
So is the money being spent on village credit cards. WGN Investigates obtained copies of statements that reveal village officials have spent more than $24,000 at restaurants in just 1 year, including this Midlothian barbecue joint and a South Holland sub shop.
I've seen the same thing and more. You name it, they